Hello everyone, how are we doing today? So, this will kind of be an odd one. The last few videos I've done, I've shared some of my recent acquisitions, some souvenirs, some quite rare from Disneyland, and sort of shared them with you. Hopefully you guys get a kick out of them, and maybe it inspires you to go and pick up some other things. And I thought, I've got a bunch of other crap in this house that honestly isn't worthy of a full video, if you will, a 10 or 12, 15-minute video, because they're pretty straightforward. But that doesn't mean they're not interesting and not worthy of a brief comment, right? So I gathered up a few things, not a ton of stuff. I left out maps and some of those things. A few postcards that I have. I thought no one would be terribly interested in those. But here's a sort of a collection of lesser items that don't warrant, again, a 15-minute video, but I thought I would share with you. So stick around. Okay, 1972. This is a Disneyland dial guide. You can see the date right there, corner. And the idea was you would, here, kind of see, you move this dial around and you kind of see the pink dot there. You see it? On the back side, it would give you a description of what that was. You can see that's the Explorer Canoes, dial 10. And apparently this was a postcard, because you can see you could put a stamp and an address and mail this to your friends or family. I can't imagine this would survive very well in the hands of the post office, at least the modern post office, maybe in 1972. But I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting. I'm going to say they're a little bit rare. I don't think these would survive too terribly long. But it's got the Skyway. It's sort of a snapshot of 1972, if you will, right here on the front, the map. And I thought it was kind of interesting, and I'm certainly glad I have it, of course. But next up is this. This is from 1970. This is Magic from the Haunted Mansion. As you can see, it's just a little paperback book. Again, it's from 1970. There you go. You can see the copy right there. And what this was, it was $1. You bought it at the Haunted Mansion gift shop, or maybe the Magic shop, probably the Magic shop on Main Street. And it's just a collection of simple tricks that a young boy or girl can learn and play in front of his family and friends, or her family and friends, of course. See, like, here's handkerchief magic and several pages on handkerchief magic. I think what makes this interesting is just how good a shape this was. This obviously wasn't in mental magic, a child's hand, at least not for long, or this kid was way obsessive compulsive. No, it's not mine. Or at least not initially. It's mine now. Or someone bought this and it never ended up in a kid's hands. But you kind of get the idea. I'm going to say also somewhat rare, because again, it's paper and was intended for children, and most children that I know tend to destroy everything. What else we got? Kind of silly, but this is some salt and pepper shakers. These are porcelain. They're quite small. From the late 50s. You can actually see the Disneyland. That's not a sticker. That's actually in the porcelain there. It's in both of them here. They're terribly small. Hell, I put this much salt on anybody that knows me, that much salt goes in my French fries, that whole container. But I think they're kind of fun. I don't think these are hard to come by. I think there's quite a few of them. We did a longer video and more in-depth dive on Mineral Land, the Rainbow Ridge Mine Train, and the Mineral Store. This is from the 56 to 63. This is a bloodstone. You guys remember the big piece of quartz that I did a longer video on. This is obviously a smaller piece. It cost 25 cents and it hung on a, on a little clip. Here's the back side. It's been in this little plastic container a long, long time. You can actually see how it says True Life Adventures there in the top corner. Anyway, kind of interesting. This one's pretty rare. I don't think you'll find this as fast as you might find the others. In 1998, the president of Disney at that time, Paul Pressler, decided it was time to redo Tomorrowland yet again. And his take was more of a, I'll kind of show you here, sort of a retro Jules Verne kind of deal. And in this, obviously, People Mover was gone, and they were doing those rocket rods. I believe that was Eisner. And the rocket rods, the stresses that those speeds created on the People Mover track is why it remains closed today. It's just not safe. But they made a bunch of changes, and obviously they partnered with Coke. You would have bought this 6-pack at the store. And you can obviously see it's faded quite badly, but it's been around a long, long time. And you can see each of the bottles here, Coca-Cola. So they made a big investment for this grand opening in 1998, and they've done shit since then. But kind of interesting. And last but not least, this is probably the most rare, or second most rare item. This is a cigar box. You all know that Disneyland on Main Street used to have a tobacco shop, sold cigarettes and cigars. It was open from the 50s all the way until 1990, I believe. You see in the corner here, it holds 5 cigars. A little bit of damage on the top. You can see a little bit of warpage as well. Here's the inside. Yes, it still has the smell, actually the sweet smell of tobacco in this instance. You can still get a hint of it. As far as its age, now I know that 1965 is when the Surgeon General or the government officially forced tobacco companies to put warning labels on all of their products about the hazards of smoking. I don't think they were hardcore warnings, just like, hey, smoking could be a problem. But none of those warning labels of any kind appeared until after January the 1st, 1965. And as you can see here, that's the front. Here's the back. And the only other verbiage is right there talking about the fine tobacco. There are no warning labels on this box, which leads me to believe that this is pre-1965. I think this is pretty rare. It is made of wood, and it's got some paper on it. Like I said, I'm going to go, I'm going to just say early 60s, because since there's no warning label at all anywhere. It says intended by manufacturer more than 15 cents each and more than 20 cents. So with 5 cigars, this box would have been, we'll say, $1 plus tax. So that'll give us another idea. If we look right here, it talks about what they should be selling those cigars for. So if a cigar is 20 cents, that goes back a ways. So this might even be from the late 50s, but I'm going to say 62, 63, 64. I think this is pretty rare, not in perfect shape, but I've got one. Anyway, I thought I would share these short items. I'm sure you would agree none of these would warrant a deep dive 20-minute video, so I thought I'd just pile these together and share them with you. Hopefully you got a kick. Hopefully a couple of these things were sort of new and interesting. But anyway, in this world, where you could be anything you want, be kind, you be humble, you be forgiving, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.